So I'm just going to kick off now. So I'm going to go and share my screen. So for those of you who don't know us, we're a community-built organisation. We're also a charity, and we work with all areas of design and creative thinking. We set up to inspire creative thinkers to apply their talents for socially valuable projects, promoting sustainability, freedom, social health and well-being. We set up in 2012, and we do a number of different things. We have an international award scheme. We do workshops and have tools and curriculums. We do events, membership scheme, all sorts of things on our platform to try and help people use their talent for what we consider to be important in the world. So that's kind of what we do. Why we do it? Well, we do it because we need to change the world, right? The world isn't in a great place, but also we do it because it creates better mental health and well-being for us. So we have the research and the data that backs this up. If you choose to use your talent in service of other people, it absolutely shifts how you feel about yourself and the world around you. That isn't just nonsense. I can speak from my own personal experience of having had mental health issues. I do have mental health issues, if you like. And so that's one of many reasons why we do what we do. But today we're going to focus on this idea of using creativity for mental health and well-being. So how we do that is we first have to imagine something else. So as this particular talk is about mental health, what I'd like you to do is play a bit of a game with me right here, right now. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to close your eyes for a second, and I'm going to close my eyes as well. And I'd like you to imagine something. I'd like you to imagine a world where every single thing that we create, that we design, that we build, that we even manufacture, serves humanity and our planet. Just imagine for a few seconds that world. Every single thing that we create serves humanity and our planet. Now that would be a very different world, right? It would be a fairer, more just, healthier and sustainable world. And that's the sort of world that we want in our community, and that's exactly why we set up Creative Conscience, was because we believed that we should be using our talents and our skills to create a world. And for those of you who are feeling a little bit cynical about that idea, it is possible. It's absolutely possible, because there are organizations and there are businesses that put people and planet first, and they're successful and they're thriving and they even make money. So anyone who says that's not possible, I would like to challenge them. Feel free to put them in touch with me. I would have that conversation with them. So that's what we have to do. That's what we do as creative thinkers, as human beings. We first have to imagine something, right? So I just want to tell you a little bit about my personal story. So I have, as I mentioned in the past, suffered from mental health issues. And what I found was, and they've been, pretty bad in the past, kind of, I don't really have anxiety. I just get really depressed, and I don't want to live, basically, in certain moments. And what I found was, again, in the past, a long time ago, I was kind of put on medication and all sorts of other things, and that just kind of suppressed my feelings. So it didn't really work. And then what happened was it would come back again. And so over the last few years, I kind of got on top of it for a number of years, and I was fine. And then hormones kicked in and it kind of came back. Some people describe it as the black dog. So the black dog came back, but this time I thought I was going to do something else. And it was kind of through the learnings that I'd learned through working on creative conscience was around being in action. So what I did was I started to put rituals into my life. And so if it's okay, I'm going to share with you 10 ideas about how I personally remain balanced in my daily life. And what really helps me, and I'm not suggesting that you have to do this in any shape or form, but it could be quite interesting, especially in these moments where we are in isolation. So, and we don't have a regular day or we don't have a regular job. What I did was I put rituals into my day, especially right now when we don't have a day, we don't have a structured day. And so I would like to share with you, if that's okay, 10 things that help me personally. And if you think that they could be of service to you or your community, then, grab a pen and a piece of paper and write them down. And then let us know if they've helped anyone that you know or people, you could suggest these ideas to them. So a ritual is a sequence of activities involving gestures, words, sort of events, objects, performance in a sort of sequence. So I do these rituals every single day without fail. Now, also, I didn't just start doing all of these things in one go. I started with one and then I added another and then I added another and another. So it was a step-by-step process. And the first thing that I do every day, as soon as I wake up, is I meditate. Now, I was the last person on the planet. For years, people had been suggesting that I should meditate. And I just said, I can't meditate. My brain's too busy. I'm, a bit aughty and it's not going to work. And then because I had this really awful, bout of depression, I decided to try it. Okay, so what did I have to lose? I tried it. I did 2 minutes a day and then I built up and now I do 20 minutes in the morning as soon as I wake up. I use an app. There are lots of free apps. It's something, having been completely negative about meditation, I refuse to do it. I'm now going, I think people should try it because it really, really helped me personally. So that's something that you could try. And then once I've got up, I make the bed. Now, this might sound really trivial, but when you are in a place of despair, the smallest thing can make you feel better. So I personally always make my bed. I kind of did it before anyway, but it means that even if you do nothing else all day, at least you've made the bed and you've achieved something. The next thing I do is something called 5 Tibetan Rites. Now, these exercises are perfect when in isolation because you don't have to move very far. And they are a series of exercises. You can look for them online. And basically you do 5 exercises and you do them 3 times each. And I basically do them, in the bedroom. And they're ancient exercises that came from Tibetan monks. And apparently, don't shoot the messenger because I might have this wrong, is that these 5 exercises hit every single chakra or part of your body that stimulates a healthy mind and a healthy body. Almost every morning, I wake up and I feel dark, like I'm in a dark space. But once I've meditated and I've done my Tibetan rites, I will go into the bathroom singing. That's how powerful this stuff has worked for me personally. It might not work for you, but I'm just suggesting that this could work. The next thing I do, which some of you, again, might go, oh, you're mad, is that I have a cold shower or bath. Now, again, this is something that you might think, oh, there's no way I'm going to do that. Again, I brought these things in slowly, but what I did was I started with having a hot shower and then right at the last minute, I turned it cold. And then slowly over time, I got used to it. I read something that they used to, quite brutally actually, give cold showers to people in asylums. And what happens, which was awful the way they used to do it, was ghastly. But what cold water does, it stimulates a part of the brain which helps kick in positive things. I don't know the technical details. But now there's a guy called Wim Hoff, who I also suggest you check out. He's known as the Iceman, and he has online breathing exercises. The science behind having cold showers or getting into a cold bath is amazing. And although I've been doing this for a number of years, what's really poignant right now in this moment is it boosts your immune system. So while we've got this virus thing going on, and it's something like this is going to come back, pretty sure, that we are going to have more viruses, and hopefully this is going to make the world more resilient. But if you can take up a practice like this, it will serve you well. Not just your mental health, but it could serve your immune system really well. So check out Wim Hoff. He also does a brilliant podcast with Russell Brand if you're interested in that. The other thing I do every single morning is I put loads of vegetables and some fruit, not too much fruit, and ginger and stuff into a blender, and I just boost my body with loads of good vitamins and minerals. Again, this is really good for your immune system, and I don't think it has anything necessary to do with mental health directly, but it's just become part of my daily ritual, so it helps me have something to, a similar thing to do every day. I recently did a program called Wildfit, and I learned so much about the food industry and health and stuff like that. So increasing your vegetable intake right now, and not so much fruit, but lots of water and lots of vegetables is really good for our bodies, but also for our gut, and that helps with our mental health. I then make sure that I connect with nature in some form or other. Now, I live right in the middle of stinky London with pollution and I cycle everywhere, and it's pretty ghastly. But even if I just go on the street and I sit under a tree, or I walk to the studio, I make sure that I'm in nature at some point every single day. And again, this is proven to help one's mental health. The other thing that I do at the end of the day is I write down what I'm grateful for. And again, this has been proven to be a tremendously useful thing if you're feeling down. So it could be something really, really silly, like the fact that you've got a cup of tea next to you on your desk, or that you had a conversation with a friend, or anything. I'm not religious at all. My family, when I was growing up, were deeply religious, actually. And so when we were little, we were kind of made to do prayers at night. And even though I'm not religious, I now understand the importance of being thankful and grateful. So that could be something that you do at the beginning of the day, or I do at the end of the day, so I can sort of reflect on the day, and I write down things that I'm grateful for. This is a tricky one. Eat less sugar. I mean, I admit that I am addicted to sugar. The food industry is rotten to the core, I'm afraid. And again, this is something that I learned from Edmeades, who is the founder of Wildfit, but it is rotten. We've got more people in the world who are morbidly obese, but are actually lacking, they're malnourished. And that is because of our food industry. So I would task you to play a game. And every time you go to eat something, even something that you don't expect to be sugary, have a look at the label and see what's in it. I had some mayonnaise, for example, in my fridge, and I looked at the label once I started playing this game, and the third ingredient in this mayonnaise was sugar. Now, if you were a chef, I'm not, I can scarcely, boil an egg, but if you were, you would never use sugar if you were going to make real mayonnaise. And yet our food industry is basically poisoning us with sugar at every opportunity. And so what sugar does is, if you have an infection in your body, that infection will be heightened by the amount of sugar you take in. The virus, if you like, will feed off the sugar in your body. Not only that, but sugar, I did eat so much sugar. And that would really affect my mood. Now I'm conscious of the sugar I eat. You notice when you have sugar and how you get a real dip in your energy levels. So I would task you to sort of really start looking at the amount of sugar you have and try and eat less of it. That's quite difficult, especially if you're like me and you're addicted to it, but it can really help with your mental health. And right now in this with this virus we've got, it will definitely help your immune system and sugar. This is a bit ironic because we're currently on screens, but again, I would task you at some point to have a break from your screen. Give yourself a couple of hours. It might be when you walk in nature, but definitely have a break from your screen. The people who created social media and all this stuff, they do not allow their kids to engage in social media like we do. So just again, this could be a game that you play. You could try it. You could say, I'm not going to do any social media for a couple of hours, today and tomorrow. And at the end of the week, see if you actually feel better. It's really, really magical. And then the last thing I'm going to say is, which is what I mentioned at the beginning, is be in service to other people. If you can do things for other people, if you can be nice, if you can help someone else, it absolutely helps with your mental health and well-being. And like I said, we have the research and data that proves this. So if you're working on a project and you want to do something that is going to benefit other people, even though it might be quite a difficult topic, you will ultimately reap the benefits of doing that. It's absolutely proven. Endorphins will be released in your mind, in your brain, and you will get a feeling that will make you feel better. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you. I'm just going to check the times because I'm rabbiting on a bit. So all of those things, I would not suggest you decide to do all those things one morning, one day, and because the chances are you're not going to do it, and then you'll fall off a cliff, and then you'll feel really bad that you haven't managed to do it. What I do suggest is that you might try 1 or 2 rituals every day, especially while you're in isolation, to create a structure to your day and help you. So it's not about the outcome, it's about the process. I hope that makes sense.